Hey, welcome to SourceFed. My name's Elliot Morgan.
I'm Steve Zaragoza. Did you call it SourceFed?
I did, because it's about sports. We don't get to do it very often, so it's SourceFed.
Okay, this is weird. Weird is the right word for this.
Yeah, weird, crazy, confusing, hoax. Definitely weird.
Manti Te'o was a college footballing Mormon linebacker who played for Notre Dame, a college footballing Catholic institution. This year was his senior year, and he was one of the best players in the country. He actually finished second in the Heisman Trophy vote, which is a big deal, Elliot. It's a big deal.
I know, yeah.
But it's even bigger when you're a defensive player.
It's true.
Sometimes in order to establish yourself in the minds of the voters, you have to have a good story attached to your name, and oh boy, did Manti Te'o have a heck of a story.
Te'o became the poster child for sports stars overcoming tragedy this year. In September, it was reported by Sports Illustrated that 6 hours after his grandmother passed, a woman who he was incredibly close to, his Stanford girlfriend who was recovering from injuries sustained in a car wreck, had also passed away after succumbing to leukemia. Saddest story ever, right?
Lennay Kekua was 22 years old and confined to the hospital. Te'o would reportedly stay on the phone with her through the night because, quote, her relatives told him that at her lowest points, as she fought to emerge from a coma, her breathing rate would increase at the sound of his voice. Oh God. Oh God.
Now, of course, we're joking around about actually being like emotionally affected by this, but the fact is a lot of people were. Okay, so because of that, let's do a quick recap. Young football star suffers tragic loss, is featured in all the papers, and then totally destroys everybody on the field, overcoming heartbreaking situation and capturing the hearts of the nation, catapulting team to a national championship game, firmly establishing young football star in the upcoming NFL draft. Good for young football star.
Well, guess what? Turns out Kekua had no social security number, no obituary, no mention of ever being a student at Stanford, nothing, zip. She only ever sort of existed in the world of Twitter and Instagram, and her picture ended up being a picture lifted from a different 22-year-old woman
who had no idea that her picture was being used for a dead person. Now, the debate is if Te'o was duped by some weirdo online, which will be crazy, or if Te'o was in on the whole thing to elaborately and intelligently create publicity for himself, what with that Heisman and becoming a big famous football star, which would be crazy.
Crazy.
Notre Dame officially responded to the situation with this release. On December 26th, Notre Dame coaches were informed by Manti Te'o and his parents that Manti had been the victim of what appears to be a hoax in which someone using the fictitious name Lennay Kekua apparently ingratiated herself with Manti and then conspired with others to lead him to believe she had tragically died of leukemia. The university immediately initiated an investigation to assist Manti and his family in discovering the motive for and nature of this hoax. While the proper authorities will continue to investigate this troubling matter, this appears to be, at a minimum, a sad and very cruel deception to entertain its perpetrators.
And Te'o himself responded with a statement. Here are some quotes. This is incredibly embarrassing to talk about, but over an extended period of time, I developed an emotional relationship with a woman I met online. To realize that I was the victim of what was apparently someone's sick joke and constant lies was and is painful and humiliating. I hope that people can understand how trying and confusing this whole experience has been. In retrospect, I obviously should have been more cautious. If anything good comes from this, I hope that it is others will be far more guarded when they engage with people online than I was.
Whoever wrote that for him did an excellent job. Deadspin broke the story, and there is potential that Te'o might know the perpetrator behind the hoax. Twitter accounts trace back to a man by the name of Lennay Kekua, and according to Deadspin, a friend of Kekua said he was, quote, 80% sure Te'o was in on it. And I'm sure I did not pronounce that name correctly. So, at best, this is a story of a high-profile athlete that was duped by some weird sicko in a fabricated online relationship, and at its worst, an athlete created an elaborate, emotional story for publicity and duped everybody in the sporting world, which might be what actually happened, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. And since we can't cover everything, Deadspin did a great job of backtracking through loads of content in an attempt to piece this story together.
And on that note, the writers of the article, Timothy Burke and Jack Dickey, did an awesome job with this report, and I think it should be plastered on the walls of like journalism classes everywhere. These two writers name dropped CBS, ESPN, the LA Times, the New York Times, and more, and pinpointed their inability to check the facts and have consistent story. In the age of the internet, when information flies in from every direction because we live in the age of information, it's awesome that these guys are not fighting the internet and they're not ignoring it like the more established sources out there tend to do. They're instead embracing and adapting to it. I don't know. I think it's cool. And also, God knows I'm not like super into sports, except maybe for college football here and there. Regardless, this story is really weird. So, on that note, tell us what you think about this situation. Did he do it? Was he a part of it? Did he know what was happening? Or is he just an innocent victim? Oh, I don't know. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below.
Please click that like button or the subscribe button or both if
Not
you haven't.
both. They'll explode if you do both.
Oh, is that true?
It's true. You'll break YouTube.
Is it even possible to click both at the same time?
I don't know. You guys should try it and see what happens.
1,
Get
2,
the
3.
Boom!
Boom! Is that how the computer works?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'm Steve Zaragoza.
My name is Elliot Morgan. It's crazy. It's a crazy story.
It's crazy.
Makes me want to go play football. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I'll
Wanna
probably
play
get
some
on the
video
internet.
games?
Yeah, but I definitely.
All right.
Bye, internet.